Okay, now should we, and this is kind of a joke, but I'm going to ask you like if it was really serious, should the industry really pay more attention to industrial espionage? Because, you know, if this caught Ericsson, Nokia, Siemens and Huawei completely off guard, you know, probably it's worth to invest in having a couple of 007 you know, agents somewhere.
Well, you know, it's yeah. I mean,
I know it couldn't be a suggestion from the analyst community, you know.
Well, yeah, no, we don't
it's
really.
A tough one, but
in fact, at Infonetics, we have one analyst covering security issues, but internet-related security issues and intellectual property, particularly in when it comes to LTE and LTE Advanced,
for the patents,
is a big war already.
Okay.
So it's a behind-the-scene war. You don't hear that much about it because I believe there was no major issue, no major leak so far, but you know, it's lingering around. There is no question.
Because in your experience, do this kind of innovation gets leaked to the analyst community a little before, even the company, Alcatel may just give you a call and say, just be ready because in a couple of days we're having something major.
In fact, yes, we are briefed. I was briefed about this product in mid-January already.
Okay.
But
did you saw the cube? No.
No, just on paper.
Okay.
Just on paper, on PowerPoint presentations. And basically, you know, you sign an NDA, it's under embargo, and
so you're gonna have to talk to
exactly.
Tell me because you really want to say it.
Yeah,
no?
I didn't say anything at all. I mean, and that's it. But it can be very dangerous, actually, you know, because some people, you know, are interested in showing off.
Yeah.
And now that you know you're saying that, there are also some insider trading. And you know, all these global expert network, you may have seen that in the Wall Street Journal. There is a major investigation with a lot of people, including analysts, that are being chased because of the information they have passed on to people ready to buy stocks or sell massive amount of stocks, you know, prior to an earning call and so on. So this is happening. Yeah, this is going on for sure.
Okay.
It's all about integrity, ethics. You know, it's all about human beings after all. You know.
Yeah. Okay. So final question would be recommendations for the ones that have not been able to come up with something so innovative, something that is so dramatic, because actually it's dramatic. I think when you see it, you say,
well, it's going to take some time to
do they have to just replicate, like, you know, the other manufacturers are replicating the iPhone?
No.
Do they have to just become with the launch a cube? And
well, I mean, this is a very good question. Yeah, may that happen? Maybe. Now, Ericsson is still very strong. You know, Ericsson still has what 40% market share of the. Well, Ericsson has 40% of the install footprint, cellular footprint on this planet, and you're not going to wipe that out anytime soon.
Yeah. But they need to get the cube. No.
Well, I mean, they have other assets. I mean, the RBS base station is still, you know, a base station that, well, as we know it. You know,
the big one.
But at this point, it does actually support multiple types of interfaces. You know, they have done a very good job of reducing the power consumption, also redesigning the base station so that, you know, it fits very well in the environment. So the point I'm making is you cannot dismiss Ericsson, Nokia, Siemens Networks, on the other hand, and Huawei. We're talking about the four big players, but the point is Alcatel-Lucent, which used to be seen as the weak of the four, now is getting back, you know, at equality, I would say, you know, parity with the other guys.
Okay, my prediction, and it's going to be very unfair, but my prediction is that ZTE and Huawei are going to have a cube by the end of the year. That's what I think. I don't know. This is going to be recorded, so we'll have it on records to see if I was right. I don't know if you want to bet with me.
No, I mean that's. It sounds like a realistic bet. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So we can open up a bet on the internet and see what happens. But also I want to ask you. You mentioned at the beginning that the merger between Alcatel and Lucent now was paying its dividends. When will, or it maybe in your view has already happened, the Nokia Siemens venture show something like this?
Well, it's interesting because in fact Nokia Siemens Networks now is also back on track. We were worried about the company at the end, in the second half of 2009, where it was very obvious that they were losing ground.
So now they're picking up again.
In the first half of 2010, they in fact won a lot of contracts, and their pipeline seemed to improve a lot, and that went on till the end of last year. So now they have a very strong pipeline. So they have, I would say, recovered. The prior management made, mistakes. Remember the stalking horse of getting the Nortel assets. They didn't understand what a stalking horse during a bankruptcy auction was, and they thought that they would be the winner. And until Ericsson, got it and jumped in and got the prize, the Nortel assets, cutting Nokia Siemens Networks out of the US with a significant footprint. Yeah. So the last resort was the acquisition of the Motorola assets. So now with that on Nokia Siemens Networks book, you can say Nokia Siemens Networks now is going to be a significant player in the United States. Okay. If you want to be a significant player in this world, you have to be in the United States.
Yes.
So it's interesting to see that Huawei is not in the United States.
But they don't want them there, it seems.
Well, that's security issues, as you mentioned. Not spying, technology. In fact, it's kind of related, because it's not stealing intellectual property per se, but it's the government that is very worried that through the Huawei equipment, the Chinese government may have access to. So it's still related, to what you were saying before. Yeah.
And finally, this is the final one for sure. Is the market already settled? We've seen mergers and acquisitions. Could we conclude that we're going to leave a period where the market is settled? That the players are there, there's market for everyone, perhaps?
Well, at this point, yes, the tier 1, tier 2 consolidation is over. And I refer back to a chart I had in 2005 showing by revenue the different vendors. And it was very clear that there were too many of them, and a merger was, needed, or something was needed because you had Ericsson, Marconi, Alcatel, Lucent Technologies, Siemens, Nokia, Motorola, Nortel. So you see, you had too many of them. So then by doing Nokia plus Siemens, Ericsson absorbing Marconi, Alcatel plus Lucent, you basically rationalize the supply side. And
the still margins are tight.
Yes, yes. So that's what happened. Then only Nortel and Motorola were left. So now, it's no longer correct. Nortel is with Ericsson, Motorola is in Nokia Siemens Networks. So I would say, the vendor landscape is cleaned up now and has stabilized. And it remains to be seen how now Huawei and ZTE can continue to gain market shares, from Ericsson, Nokia Siemens, and Alcatel Lucent, because without a significant presence in the US, that's going to be really tough now.
Okay. Well, Stefan, thank you so much for joining us and giving us your input, and we'll see you soon. Thanks.
Thank you.
Volvemos enseguida.